Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be going through the steps of punch needle. Punch needle is one of my current favorite projects. It's my favorite type of craft. So today we're going to be working on this little sloth, which I think is just the cutest thing. So in a punch needle kit, you'll typically get this, which will be your finished project, and it'll also show where the colors should be placed. You'll also get a template like this, which is going to be what you're working with for your actual project. So this will show you the same thing it does on the finished piece, but it's just obviously waiting for you to add the yarn. With that, you'll also get the yarn. Usually just in these little bundles, they're just tied, so you just unknot this and then it's ready to use. Along with that, you'll also receive the hoop that you'll be working in. So typically, just lefty-loosey this all the way to the end, keeping the screw in, but just loosening it up fully so that this center part will just drop out for you. Once you have your inner loop out, you're going to put the outer loop aside for a moment, and you're going to put your little canvas template over the inner loop. Now this circle should match up with the circle beneath it. And then you're just gonna spread this out and put it right over top, just so it gets back to where it was, nice and tight up here at the top. And then what you're gonna do once this is fully together again, you're just gonna righty-tighty this all the way until you cannot physically turn it anymore, because you want this canvas as tight as possible for the best punch needle experience. It'll just make the whole process that much easier. Put a little fuzzy. All right. So that is fully tightened. And if I want, I can pull just on the end of this, making sure everything is nice and taut. Now, the next most important part of this, which in punch needle sets I typically find is not very well explained, is how to thread your punch needle to start with. So this is your punch needle. It should look like this. It has a little hole in the back here, and then the center of it is hollow all the way down to the bottom. So you're gonna get this with a typical set, and you're also going to get a needle threader, which is just a little piece of a little hoop of plastic. Typically, they put a paper at the end just to make it more visible, but that keeps it together. So you'll have your little threader, which you're going to start by putting the threader through the top part of your punch needle. So it goes all the way down, and then it'll come out the bottom. So it comes out down here. So this would be considered the back side of your punch needle, and that's where you want the loop to be. Now you can start wherever you'd like in the pattern, but typically I start in the center, so I'm going to start with the orange S in this project. Just to remind you, I'm going to be working with orange first. So once you have the needle threader through the back side of your punch needle tool, you're going to pull your thread through the metallic threader. Just get it nice and lined up so that it's just resting through the bottom. Once you have that, you're just going to pull on this little tab up here, pull it all the way through until it comes out. And you are halfway through threading it. Now I'm going to just loosely hold this here, and you're going to take your metallic threader one more time, and you're going to go through this little hole in the back. Okay. You're going to go through. Sorry, it's a little difficult to do this on camera. I'm going to go through with your metallic threader through the little hole at the top until you have it fully through. You're going to take this little end piece of yarn, put it right through the metallic threader again, and then you're going to pull it. so that it pulls it through that back loop. Now, this will be the excess, so you want that to be almost as small as possible. That is a fully set up punch needle threader. Now, like I said, you want this to be fully taut, so make sure this is turned fully to the right and make sure any excess edges are pulled in. Now what you're going to do is you're going to start the opening with the opening of your needle threader needs to be pointed in the direction you'll be working. So I'm going to be working along this outer edge. So you just push it in. Make sure this end of your yarn is nice and loose, because any tension will cause your project to unravel. So make sure it's nice and loose on that end. And you're going to just work in, I would say probably 1/2 inch sections. So in, out, in, out. And you're going to continue to do that along this entire edge. And then you can work in a circular pattern inwards. If you'd like to turn your project at any point, to start working, say I wanted to start a second row right along here, and you just take it out, make sure the opening is pointed towards whatever new direction you want to work in, and just continue the same motion. So you'll continue using the last row for reference for size, right along. And eventually, you'll have a matching second row, just like this. Also at this point, the back, they just look like little loops. So that is the basic stitch for punch needle. And you continue this throughout the whole project, just switching out the different colors, which I will show you next. And now I know I'm not nearly done here, but if you wanted to switch colors, you just leave your hook in your project, and you're going to flip it over, take any cutting tool. Sometimes kits will come with them. Sometimes I would just use little craft scissors or utility scissors and just snip the end of your yarn, just like so. And then you could take it out with this end still in, that's fine, but pop it right out. And then all you'll be left with on this side is your tail, which can be easily cut off. Just snip it, and then your colored section would be done. Also, in case you make any mistakes during this process, you can just take your needle out, hold it, and then you're going to want to tug on this end just to pull out the stitch. Okay? And then you can re-go in and make whatever adjustment you need it to. But that way, it will continue the loops you're working on, and you won't see the mistake then. I'll show you once more how to thread this needle threader. So you're just going to take your needle threader, push it through the top, down through the bottom side, place your yarn through the loop at the bottom, and then pull up. Comes through the top. Then while holding your yarn in place, you're going to take this hole, which is typically called the needle hole in punch needle, and you're going to just thread needle threader through. Take your yarn, put it through the head of it, pull down through so it's fully threaded and ready to use. I hope you found this video informational, or at least somewhat entertaining to watch, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys! If you want the easiest way to thread your needle, you find the needle hole back here, you push the needle threader right through that hole and down through the barrel so that it comes out the bottom, comes out right down here. And you're going to do as you would do any other time, put it right through that loop down here. And then you can pull all the way up, and it'll actually pull it up through the threader hole. And it's fully threaded that way, so that's an easier one-step version.